who gives a damn whether Modi is going to say anything or not? They are sure that Modi will not say anything, and he will do exactly what the US or the West expects him to do.
The whole attention India's foreign policy in the last 11 years since Mr. Modi came to power has only been targeted towards its domestic audience.
The image that he's created for himself domestically through propaganda, etc., is an image that the world actually buys.
Does India want the post-World War, Second World War global order in which US and the West rules? You don't want it. You clearly say, I need to be at the UN Security Council, I need to be ruling the World Bank. That's not what the US wants.
The refusal to take stances, or to shy away or be afraid to take a stance, whether in Gaza or whether on Iran, it is actually costing them a huge lot.
If you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. Hello and welcome to the Caravan Longview. I am Sushant Singh.
I am Hartosh Singh Bal.
And this week, Prime Minister Narendra Modi came back from his visit to Croatia, Cyprus and Canada. Croatia and Cyprus, Hartosh, as we have discussed, are very small countries. In fact, the population of Cyprus is 13.5 lakhs, I was just checking, which is even lesser than perhaps Noida or Gurgaon. And Croatia is some 30 odd lakhs. So they are smaller than probably even Tripura, maybe just like any other northeastern state. So the attention or the focus of Mr. Modi's trip was not on Croatia or in Cyprus. I think the focus was on Canada, where he had been invited at the last moment. And even in Canada, the attention was mainly diverted towards his meeting with Trump. But the President Trump would be there and he would meet him on the outreach summit and would discuss something. But as you saw, President Trump left Canada before the meeting could take place, and Mr. Modi then spoke on telephone with President Trump, which very surprisingly, the Indian Foreign Secretary only spoke in Hindi to Doordarshan rather than speaking in English, because usually all these handouts, all these readouts of talks between leaders are released in English so that everybody can see. So that's where it stands.
Look, so I think that starting point is quite good. Cyprus, Croatia, the size of the countries Mr. Modi is visiting and the kind of emphasis being put on these visits is sort of proportional to the size of the figure he cuts abroad now. Yeah. He has been making much of this whole Vishwa Guru, the summit in Delhi, the G20. We've gone through all of those. And today, we are literally internationally scraping the bottom of the barrel. And I think this is a reflection of where Mr. Modi and Jaishankar and the Indian foreign policy establishment has pushed India on the global scale.
No, true, Hartosh. I think the whole attention India's foreign policy in the last 11 years since Mr. Modi came to power has only been targeted towards its domestic audience. It has nothing to do with China. It has nothing to do with Pakistan. It has nothing to do with the United States. It is only to do with how can I maximally benefit domestically from this. So this whole idea, as you said, of Vishwaguru or now Vishwa Mitra or, all these nomenclatures, the pictures, the clips, the reels that have been released and the kind of narrative that has been built. And even during the last couple of months with the whole crisis on Pahalgam and thereafter with Operation Sindoor, we have seen this more often than not, that Mr. Modi's politics, Mr. Modi's policies, Mr. Modi's actions have been diverted towards the domestic audience rather than towards an international audience.
But even domestically, if we take this up, isn't there a certain sense in which it's the law of diminishing returns? And I don't mean to mock Croatia or Mauritius, whatever, but as a backdrop, they don't serve the same purpose. And I think this was quite evident in the fact that India sent an all-party delegation, again for domestic consumption. But they were trying to persuade Colombia and Venezuela and not succeeding at that too well. Even domestically, it's very hard to persuade people that your visits to Colombia by the all-party delegation is how India is rallying support internationally on Pakistan, basically.
No, I agree with you. Domestically, although because they are creatures of habit and they're continuing to do what they've done over 11 years and want to highlight Cyprus and Croatia and every other country that they're visiting as something important. But the fact of the matter is that you can't compare it to being invited, being seen with at the White House with President Biden, or President Biden coming to the Prime Minister's residence here in Delhi. They do not have the same impact, or even President Obama having tea with President Obama, even though you may be wearing your suit with your own name written written on it. I think that definitely there is a law of diminishing returns that is applying here. But I think it is also to do with the fact that India's this very personalized kind of foreign policy that has been made, and so much has been made of it. I think the world has finally seen through it, especially when the world is in a crisis. When you have this, what is going on in West Asia between Israel and Iran, in Europe between Ukraine and Russia, and globally everywhere, I think the world has more or less seen through what India has been promising under Mr. Modi and not delivering in that sense.
And this whole question, which they've always spun as our new multilateral look at the world, the refusal to take stances or to shy away or be afraid to take a stance, whether in Gaza or whether on Iran, it is actually costing them a huge lot. I mean, sure, so we are a much bigger economy than we were 70 years or 80 years ago, Nehru. But, when the Soviet Union went into Hungary, the entire world, from the White House to the UK, was turned to see how Nehru is going to react to the Soviet Union's invasion in Hungary. Today, who gives a damn whether Modi is going to say anything or not? They are sure that Modi will not say anything, and he will do exactly what the US or the West expects him to do. At the same time, sacrificing any leverage India had over what we now call the global south in some senses.
No, exactly. You spoke about Hungary. Hungary was in 56. Even before that in Korea. Yeah. India was the leader. Nehru was the leader who was deciding everything what was being done in Korea, and everybody